We've got a great new episode of Let's Talk About It. I wanted to bring in Jill Goodrich. I've interviewed Jill for the better part of a decade, working with Opportunity School on Studio 4. And around this time of year, she always brings me really sweet things to eat because it's one of my favorite fundraisers of the year, where they do the Valentine's Day cookie sale. Happens every year. And you actually brought some. These are what I'm talking about, Jill. Look at
I
these.
hope you'll share, Andy. I hope you'll share.
Well, I'm in the sharing mood today.
Okay, good. I
Listen,
brought a lot, so.
If I don't take care of the staff, then I don't end up, again, you saw Caden was in here helping me push all the buttons to get everything right, and then production make sure that we've got that going on. So I will share a little bit. Thank you for being here today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
I want to dive into a lot today, but first off, let's just talk about that the cookie fundraiser is here.
Yeah.
We're about halfway through. Well, we're over halfway through January now.
Yeah.
We're about to be knocking on the door of February. Tell me about the cookie sale and how important it is to you guys.
The Valentine's cookie sale has been around for a long time. It is a friend raiser and a fundraiser. So we want people to know about Opportunity School. So one great way to do that is to send a Valentine's box of cookies. It'll come with the Valentine's cards. We have sponsors that help underwrite, and that covers all the costs for the cookies, for the packaging, for getting it all ready to go. And then we have lovely volunteers that come, and they'll be delivering all these delicious cookies on Friday, February 13th. The 14th, Valentine's Day, is on a Saturday this year, so we'll be making those deliveries on Friday the 13th. So
I love how and you guys really do a good job of the special delivery. I mean, it's important. Like, one of the things, it's not an add-on or anything. You make the donation or you sponsor or whatever, Michelle and I have been huge supporters of this. We love what you guys do, and we sign up each and every year. And so I think it's pretty special. So how much for a box?
So inflation hasn't hit our cookie sale yet.
How in the world have you done it?
So we're still charging $25 a box. Okay. It's 2 dozen cookies delivered to addresses in Amarillo and Canyon. So that's our delivery area. If the address is in Amarillo or Canyon, we'll deliver that on Friday, February 13th. If someone wants to sponsor, it's $250. Again, low entry point. It helps us get our word out, and it helps us raise some money. Yeah. This isn't our biggest fundraiser, but it's definitely something that people get excited about, and we love doing it every year. So our families are putting the word out, and we just hope people will respond. So
well, my real estate company, Justice League Realty, put us down. We're for another year of this. We're 100% in terms of the sponsorship. We just love what you guys do, and it's so important, which is our next subject. Let's talk about Opportunity School and the impact that you guys continue to have here on the High Plains. Just give us a little bit of history.
Yeah, so Opportunity School was started in 1969. It was the brainchild of a group of young moms and dads in the late 1960s who were concerned about giving back in their community. They had read a book. It was a Sunday school class at First Presbyterian Church. They'd read a book called Journey Inward, Journey Outward. And the idea is, as you grow in your faith, you look for ways to serve in your community. And so one of the case studies in this book was about an inner city preschool in Washington, D.C. And the members of that class said, I wonder if there's a need for that here. I wonder if we could do something like that here. And that group of young men and women at the time, and we've lost many of them now because they're in their 80s and 90s, they went door to door in poor neighborhoods in Amarillo and invited families to send their child to preschool. which was new at the time. That was a new thing. So that was sort of our roots. That is how we started. Today we serve, so it started with a class of, I think, 15 children
Hmm.
back in February of 1969. We're coming up on our 57th year, and we started with one class. We now have 18 classrooms.
Wow.
We're a birth 6 weeks through age 5 until those children go off to kindergarten. And so, and one of the things that I think is so unique about Opportunity School is that it truly is a two-generational approach. So it's what we're doing in the classrooms in terms of developmentally appropriate practices, activities, and learning experience that is appropriate for
Hmm.
that age child. So if you're working with an 18-month-old, our teachers know what are the skills that they need to start beginning to learn. What are the skills they're able to master? Same way in our 3 and 4 year old classes. What are the skills and the things that they're needing to learn at that age? So it's very age specific. So it's what happens in the classroom that's very deliberate and intentional, but it's also how we come alongside families.
Yeah.
88% of our families are single parent households. They don't have a spouse, a partner that is coming alongside them in raising those children. And so that's where Opportunity School can step in the gap and really help those families. So we're getting moms and dads plugged in. We're reaching out. We're helping them with maybe services that they don't know how to access,
Wow.
or maybe their child's experienced some kind of a developmental delay or speech and language. We can get them plugged in and address those needs early and often so that by the time that child's ready to go to kindergarten, they're ready to perform at the same rate as their peers.
And research shows, we've talked about this before, there is, the evidence is,
Crystal clear.
it matters.
It matters. 80% of our brain is wired by the time we're 3, over 90% by the time we're 5. So that doesn't mean that we don't continue to learn, but our brains, when they're wired in the right way, those are patterns that are easy to
Mm.
repeat. If our brains are wired by trauma or just neglect or not paying attention, those pathways get built in also. So, rewiring that for learning is much harder to do. So, when we talk about how critical the early years are, it's not, it's not up for debate. We see it all the time. And again, our brains are these amazing organs that do so much, and we can learn new things. You and I are older; we're still learning, right? We're learning
Every day.
technology. We're,
Every day.
every day we're learning. But
Slower than I used to, but I still try to learn.
yeah, but there are best times for children to
Yeah.
learn. And so that's one of the things that we're really intentional about is what are the best times to learn for these children? And we pour that into them during the short time that we have them sometimes.
What are those families? What is the cost for a family to be involved in Opportunity School? And is it a kind of a sliding scale? Some
Yeah.
people may pay one thing, or
Yeah.
how does that work?
That's 100%. So it's a sliding scale based on income. Our mission is to serve low income families. So we do participate in programs like at Workforce Solutions. There's a child care scholarship program for low income families. Many of those families come to Opportunity School. So depending on their income, it's kind of like a copay. They'll pay a certain amount weekly. For some families, that could be $5 a week. For some families, that could be $100 a week. If you are what we call a full pay family, and we're still, I would say, we're not the most expensive in town, but we're not the cheapest in town. You would pay for an infant $208 a week.
Okay.
And so that's around, for 52 weeks, that's around $10,000 a
Yeah.
year. That's And
Probably average. I mean, would you say that we're kind of like right in that
yeah,
average?
we're right in the middle. You know, if you go west to Albuquerque, you go east to Oklahoma City, childcare costs a lot more than it does in Amarillo. So, so we're you know, again, the cost of living here impacts that, but for us to provide the quality of the program, and when I talk about quality, it's about smaller class sizes, curriculum that aligns with what the state expects in public school. Um, um, you know, an assistant in every classroom, home cooked meals, an early intervention specialist that works with the teachers and helps identify maybe challenges that a child is having and maybe needs. You know, we've caught deafness, we've caught problems with vision, we've caught developmental delays. We've helped parents that are struggling with behaviors only to find out that there may be some medically underlying
Yeah.
issue. And it's not just a child misbehaving, this child needs help in some area, and the behavior becomes the form of communication. And so, all of those things, so we have to raise outside of, you know, our support from the contracts that we have, you know, about $5,000 per child every year in donations, grants that we write. And so it's really bringing all of these pieces together to provide this kind of support to low income families in Amarillo.
And you talk about identifying those needs. Another thing, the earlier you can identify, there might be some dyslexia there. There could be, again, they just can't see the board.
Absolutely.
And so the earlier you identify that problem, then they've got an opportunity literally to start school, normal school, at kindergarten on the same page as everybody else.
Yeah, ready to learn.
As opposed to struggling through
Absolutely.
and not diagnosing that until they're in the third grade.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. So, a lot of those things, and because our curriculum is geared toward a child's age, in one class, you know, kids learn at different rates, but our teachers can look at, you know, observe what that child's doing and see, oh, okay, this child's ready to learn this. And so it's individualized to the extent that there are different activities that some kids are going to learn quickly and other kids may take them a little bit of time, but we're watching that on an ongoing basis, so we can provide those helps to those children as we go along. And we can communicate that to parents and say, here's what we're working on in school. Here's some things you can also do at home because your child's ready to learn this.
Oh, that's so good. And again, I love it that it's not just, hey, drop off your kid, we'll do our thing, you come pick them up, and we're out. It's that you're able to walk along with the family. And again, when you're pouring in from both sides, the cup gets full a lot quicker.
Yeah.
So I love that. In terms of those dollars, we talked about, obviously there's, you know, your sliding tuition scale. You talked about grants that you apply for. How has the funding situation been? Because we read so much about, you know, in some place, some funding cuts and moving around money. How is all this affecting you guys? How does it affect Opportunity School?
Yeah. So in a couple of ways, so I would say, you know, again, Opportunity School does participate in, there's really three main sources of funding that come from the government in some way. We serve low income families. That's where those families are. So we also participate in those programs. So we partner with Region 16 for Head Start and Early Head Start. Again, that's a national standard of quality. We're also nationally accredited by the National Association for the Education of Young Children. So part of that helps us provide the highest quality program that we can and keep it affordable for families. So Region 16, so last year, Head Start wasn't in the budget, the federal budget. It got back in the budget. It's there this year. But because of some of the things that are going on, those funding sources are feeling a little bit more vulnerable. I think recently the media was talking about, you know, child care dollars where their children, there's no children in the building, or, there were some videos that may or may not be true. I don't know all
Yeah.
of that.
You know what you do.
Here's what I know about what we do
Yeah.
is we're checking attendance every day. We have folks from child care licensing, from Texas Workforce, from Region 16, who are in and out of our building on a regular basis. We value those partnerships. It is how we're able to provide many of the things that we can provide in terms of interventions
Right.
and supports for children and families. We also, the third area is the food program. So just like the school lunch program, we have, it's called the Child and Adult Care Food Program. And, we get audited every 3 years. We have to turn in every single receipt. And I asked someone who was saying, oh, all these programs are wasteful. And I said, well, what do you think the margin of error is for us? Just for Opportunity School, we serve about 450 meals a day. What do you think the margin of error is in terms of how much milk we serve and what foods we're serving and all that, And, this person says, well, I don't know, maybe 10, 15%. And I said, well, actually, the margin of error is zero.
Wow.
Our last review, we were off by $16.10. And we had to write what's it called? A CAD, a corrective action plan for
Over $16.
over $16.10. I really wanted to say, can I just write you a check for $16.10? But that is the level of scrutiny in the state of Texas that we're under. So Opportunity School goes through a full financial audit every single year so that donors and our funding partners know that we're using those dollars in the way that they're meant to be used. And so, that's one of the things that I think is really unfortunate. And I can't speak to what the controls are in other states.
Right.
I can just
to what
speak
you
to
know of.
this is what my experience has been here, and we're happy to answer questions, right? I mean,
Right.
I encourage people to come see what we're doing.
I think they'll walk away impressed that we have something of this caliber. And again, Jill, when you were talking about that accreditation, I know that those things are not easy to get.
Yeah.
I know that you have to jump through so many hoops, and so you have the highest levels of accreditation. And again, anybody who wants to, I've taken that tour before. I think it's been more than a decade since I've done it, but I've walked through there. I've done it, and that means when the cookie cell comes up,
Yeah.
that we're on board. When lips comes up, most of the time, it's one of my favorite things to MC. I'm sad sometimes when I don't get to do it. If we have a crossing or whatever, I think this last year I didn't get to go, and I was kind of bummed out about it. But there are literally two things that I mark on my calendar that I try to make sure that we are a part of as a family and as a part of my company, of saying this is where we want our dollars to go. Whether it's with the cookie cell or whether it's Panhandle Gives or whatever, we just think that you guys do things on the highest level. And I love sugar, and so it's easy to get cookies. And my girls, they've grown up. I don't think they know, since you guys have started this, what a Valentine's Day without the thumbprint cookie. I don't think
It's
they know,
like,
because they each would always get a
My
box.
boys always say, "Mom, are we getting those cookies this year?"
Those cookies. Okay, so let me dive into that. I want to know how the cookie crumbles here. How does the actual cookie thing work? Who's doing all that?
Yeah. So we have an amazing partner in United Supermarkets. United is our baker. They have helped us for many, many years. I think before that, before my time, I think it was Belmar Bakery.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we don't have the equipment to do
Right.
this, but United does, and so they partner with us, and since COVID, they also help us with the packaging, making sure it's all safe and
It's so
food
good.
service. And so our volunteers gussy up the boxes and deliver them. But you can be assured
Yeah.
that there were professionals in the kitchen. So
It makes me so happy when the box comes along. I've got this website pulled up because I want you to know how easy this is.
yeah,
So just go to opportunityschool.com. Very first thing, as soon as you bring it up, this is what you get. So before you can even get to the main site right now, you go order cookies now, become a big cookie sponsor, and then you can continue to the full website. But I'm just going to dive in here to show you like the amount of time. So you can order cookies, you can donate. So we'll hit the order cookies, brings up the next page, and it's $25. Again, you can do as much as you want.
yeah,
This is one of those things if you're finding a way. So Michelle and I are both realtors. We just started our own company just recently with Justice League Realty. But if you want to say, hey, I want to give these to either people that work in the office, you do
Yeah.
it to clients or whatever, you do it, you ship it, and
it's done.
It is done.
It
Again,
is done.
it's really
And there's not a delivery fee. There's no delivery fee. Our volunteers donate their time. If you'd like to be a volunteer, they can sign up on Hands On Amarillo.
yeah. Tell me about that
And
because somebody may want to give, and I get it. Our
Absolutely.
budgets are being stretched. We've got all these things, but you're like, man,
Absolutely.
I want to buy into this, but I don't have the buy in
Yeah.
potential. But you do
Yeah.
have volunteers.
Yeah, we do definitely have volunteers. So you can volunteer. Hands on Amarillo, we've got a listing of our different volunteer needs. And so there are things out there. But right now, the highlighted need is Valentine's cookie delivery drivers. And so you can sign up there. It takes a morning. We ask our volunteers, how much time do you have? If they've only got a couple of hours, we'll give them a smaller route. We've got it all mapped up. They get their cookies and their map.
So good.
And it really flows. So that's, we've got people that donate who buy cookies because maybe they didn't send a Christmas gift to their clients. So we have companies that buy cookies to give to their clients. We have teacher appreciation gifts. We have grandparents giving them to their grandkids. So it's a nice thing,
Yeah.
and it's easy to do. So, and again, we hope that when people see a pink box appear at their door, they know it's from Opportunity School, and they think about the kids they're helping with their donation.
And you said how many kids typically?
So we have 208 children. We have spots for 208 children. We most of the time are full. We've got some openings for 3 and 4 year olds. So if anybody has a 3 or 4 year old that they're wanting to get socialized into preschool, we do have some openings. So
good.
there's information on our website. But I just have a heart for working parents. I've always been a working mom. I have 4 kids. They don't need childcare now, but man, 10, 12, 15 years ago, I did.
My mom was in there. There was 3 kids, and I don't know how she did it. I mean, she's she's a waitress at a restaurant.
Yeah.
All those years, either a cook or a waitress at a truck stop or a restaurant, and I don't know how she did it, and I know that families now it's even harder.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
every little bit helps. And again, I think it's just another way, and I equate it to loving your neighbor, right? It's just loving the people that you're around and just trying to do the best you can for the least of these, trying to just love on them. And I think you guys do that. And I think that's why it's easy for us as these fundraisers come along to just dive right in. So I want you guys to dive in. When is the cutoff? I'm going to bring this up.
So
just kind of one more time here.
So the cutoff is Friday, February 6th. We spend the weekend, that weekend, finalizing the order, getting the cookies baked, and doing all the routes. So the order by Friday, February 6th. That gives us 1 week to get everything turned around because it all happens in a very short period of time. And so,
Right.
you know, sponsor, get your order in, and I just want to say, you know, Andy, we need you to come out to our new campus, and you need to see.
I need to see it. Okay,
you
tell me
need to
about
see
that.
it. So
Tell me about it.
So 4 years ago, we've been in our new location for about 4 years now. 4 years in September.
Okay.
And you know, you'll recall the YMCA in Amarillo shut down. We don't have YMCA anymore. There were also child care programs at Caprock and PD. Those now are not, you know, operating. And so our board said, man, that's a lot of families, right? And so that sort of started the thought process. So we went out and raised a bunch of money and built a beautiful new campus. I think what I love about it, it is one of the few spaces for childcare in Amarillo that was built with children and families in mind. A lot of times we repurpose other spaces
Yeah.
for kids, and this was built for them. And it was built for our teachers.
What's the location again? Just real quick.
406 South Osage.
Okay.
We still have our campus down where we share space with First Presbyterian Church. But our new campus, we have outdoor classrooms that are
I gotta come check it
certified
out.
by Nature Explorer. So getting kids outside, learning outside, having beautiful open-ended play, not where we've got equipment that entertains the child, but hopefully sparking curiosity and wonder and just letting kids be kids. And a lot of our families may not have a safe fenced backyard where their kids can play. So that's one of the things that was really important to me, that we have beautiful spaces for kids and beautiful spaces for our teachers and our families.
How long have you been with Opportunity School now?
So this is my 15th year.
15th year. We've done a lot of interviews
Yeah.
throughout. This is our longest one. That's one of the things that I love about this new format, and that they let me do this. Let's talk about it. Is the people that I normally talk to that I get 4 minutes with, and I feel like we just are like literally scratching the surface when I'm hearing, okay, Andy, wrap it up. You're talking too much, and then we have to move on
Get
along.
off, yeah. Yeah.
But we get some elongated time. What were you doing before Opportunity School?
So before Opportunity School, I was with McCormick Company.
Okay.
So McCormick was an advertising and
Yeah, I
public
remember.
relations firm here. I grew up in Nebraska. I met my husband here on a college internship. And we lived in Kansas City for a while. And then in '99, we moved back to Amarillo.
Hey.
And I, back when telecommuting was new and remote work was not really a
You're like,
thing.
what is this telework? What are you doing?
Telework,
Yeah.
yeah. So I did that with my firm in Kansas City for several years. But my husband and I were ready to start a family, and I worked for McCormick Company then for about 9 years. But during that time, I started serving on the board at Opportunity School. So I served on the board for 6 years. And, you know, I tell people all the time I drank the Kool-Aid. I wanted to be in service in our community. I wanted to give back. And, you know, that really appealed to me after serving on the Opportunity School board. And then the opportunity for the executive director came up, and I haven't looked back.
Well, Amarillo is better because of Opportunity School. And I'm better for having known you and known your heart and how much that you pour into it, because it's not a job for you. I
Yeah,
know
it's
that
not.
you love it, and we just are lucky to have you in today. And again, the cookies, go online right now. These things are so good. And I will tell you, not all cookies are created. When these come in, I tend to go toward the chocolate. My
Okay,
girls love the
yes.
sprinkle.
Yes, okay.
Michelle is more the, I think she's more the whole thing, like whatever's available. she's
Whatever's
gonna go in.
available, they're all good. Yeah.
But yeah, it is a great way to give back to the community, satisfy your sweet tooth. I'm going to tell you my hack real quick. I know we got to wrap this up, but I always have to have a cup of coffee with it.
Yes.
Just a little bit, right? There's just something that sets off that sweetness. You can do this by going to opportunityschool.com. Go over there and check that out. I also want to make sure that you know about their fundraiser. We've got Lips, and that typically happens
September
in the fall.
19th. Yeah, September 19th. Everyone had so much fun last year with the disco band that we brought in. We're thinking about doing a take two on that. So
Okay. Well, and I missed it, so I've got to
put it on
there.
your calendar.
Put it on the calendar.
Andy,
We got to be there.
Saturday, September 19th. Is the day. And so Lips is our big fundraiser. I put it out to the audience last year that people keep asking me to bring lip syncing back. And so I had a few folks, I said, but every time I ask people if they want to volunteer to lip sync, I don't get too many takers since COVID.
Yeah.
So I had some audience members say they would do it, and so I'm going to be starting to follow up with those people and see if we can have maybe some opening lip sync acts for lip sync for Lips 2026.
I remember back in the day when this, pre-COVID, this was years and years ago.
Yeah.
The level that people would go to with these companies and these nonprofits or whatever of doing these big lip sync things. Did somebody do was it the weather folk that did It's Raining Men?
Yes.
I don't know why that's sticking in my...
there was a whole Taylor Swift era. Yeah. There was the Greatest Showman. I mean, there were and the costuming and the choreography just kept getting better and better. And so it got to a point, and then COVID sort of unraveled all of that for us.
Right.
And so this has been, I think, and just kudos to those people who invested that amount of time to rehearsals and really helping us put on a beautiful show. But we got to a point where, by the night of the event, maybe 3 acts had canceled on us, and it just... you want to have a good event, and you got to have the right entertainment.
Right. I've experienced both, and I will tell you the amount of work that it goes in. I've enjoyed, as you guys have continued to grow, of trying the new things, because it's good, right? Yeah. And so I'll have to make sure I put that on there. September 19th. Jill Goodrich, Opportunity School, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for loving on our community. Yeah. And we just appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, Andy. I appreciate it.